That's about it. So yeah, if more people show up, great. If not, let's get started. So we're excited to partner with SwipeSimple, and we've been working with their products for years and never were able to offer the product solution to ISOs. And so really this is a great partnership and be able to say, hey, really understanding their products and how it works with what you're working on as an add-on to the solution. And just thinking about the customers that are out there and when you're dealing with a customer, and sometimes it's simple and it's just about rates. And then as the customer becomes more complex and the more volume, there's a lot of different aspects of what their needs are. And this fits one of those needs. And they'll get into it real quick, but the solution's simple. It's a beautiful thing. I hate that they've changed their name, but I like it. It works for me. So you guys get started and let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam. Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley Howard. I am the Sales Support Associate here at CardFlight, and I'll be presenting to you today. I also have Wally Sebastian, who's the Senior Account Manager here, to assist with any additional questions that you all may have. So going in on the agenda today, we'll do an intro and a little bit about CardFlight, go over the solutions that you can offer your merchants today, and we'll end with a live demo as well as Q&A. So before we dive in, I'd just like to take a moment to introduce CardFlight for those who may be new to us. We're a leading payment technology company, and SwipeSimple is going to be our signature product. Some of you may already be familiar with SwipeSimple, as it's trusted by over 125,000 merchants throughout the U.S. And so through our partner network, such as banks, ISOs, and merchant service providers. And now it's also available through our distributor partner, DCCSupply. So if you're considering adding SwipeSimple to your offering, we are excited to have you here today and look forward to working together. So what do small businesses need from a payment solution? And it really comes down to these three things. First up, we have simplicity. Merchants need something that's easy to set up and use, and so they can get up and running in minutes. Next up, we have flexibility. They want to be able to accept payments in whatever way their customers prefer, whether that's in person, online, or on the go. And then lastly here with reliability. It has to work, and that's anytime, anywhere, even outdoors. And SwipeSimple delivers on all three. It's simple, flexible, and built to be dependable for small businesses. So SwipeSimple is going to be a great fit for many industries, but these are just some of the merchant types we serve especially well. So first up, we have home services. We make it easy for technicians to accept payments on site right when the job is complete. Then with professional services, features like invoices, our card on file, and flexible payment options help providers get paid faster and more efficiently. And then retail merchants benefit from simplified inventory management and smooth checkout process. So this is going to be perfect for those boutiques, bookstores, and even more. And then lastly, for entertainment, SwipeSimple supports advanced ticket sales through payment links, helping venues keep events running seamlessly. And this is by far not an exhaustive list, but it gives you a strong starting point on identifying the right merchants to go after. So now let's jump into a solution overview. So here you'll see the three packages that you can offer your merchants through SwipeSimple. So first up, we have SwipeSimple Payments. This is going to be our mobile app that can run on any Android or iOS mobile device or tablet. Plus, they get access to our payment gateway, which includes the virtual terminal, invoices, scheduled payments, and payment links. And the best thing of it all, they get all of those additional features at no additional cost. And of course, you can pair that with the B350 card reader. Next up, we have SwipeSimple Terminal, which is going to be our smart terminal solution that can be ran on the PAX A920, A920 Pro, and PAX A80. With SwipeSimple Terminal, your merchants are able to accept true debit charges, accept post-off tip adjustments, as well as we recently released surcharging on terminal. All of this is going to be available on this software package. And then lastly, here we have SwipeSimple Register. This is going to be our light POS solution. That's great for merchants with a more sophisticated inventory. As with the Register software package, they'll get access to item modifiers as well as item level taxes. As you can see here, the Register software package can be ran on the PAX Aries 8, paired with the printer and cash drawer as well. But with our Register software package, you can also use that on these terminal devices here, as well as bring your own device, such as a tablet or mobile phone as well. So now diving into our mobile app. With our mobile app, your merchants are going to be able to accept payments anywhere. We released more advanced features on the go throughout this year, such as invoices, as well as customers, where you can use card on file information. And also you'll have access to your inventory directly from the mobile app. And I'll go through all of these features as well during our live demo. And then next up, we have invoices. Invoices are going to be available via the mobile app as well as the payment gateway. And with our invoices, they are cloud-based, so anything done on the mobile app will also be reflected on the web and vice versa. You can text to pay these invoices or send these invoices out via email. We also released the ability to set up automated invoice reminders. This will be located in the settings on the dashboard. And you also are able to edit any unpaid invoices throughout this year. We'll be even coming out with more enhancement on our invoices as well. The next step, we have customers on mobile and gateway. So not only does your merchants get access to their customer CRM on the mobile app, they'll also be able to use saved card information as well. So as you can see here, this will make for quick repeat sales, and then customers is also available on the gateway as well, where they can use saved card information to do recurring payments as well. And then next up, we recently launched Tap to Pay on iPhone, and we are so excited to be bringing this game-changing feature to merchants. It lets them accept contactless payments with just an iPhone. No extra hardware required. It's going to be secure, simple, and perfect for taking payments anywhere. Tap to Pay on iPhone is currently available for merchants processing through Fiserv Rapid Connect Nashville, with more on the way. WorldPay and Fiserv Omaha will be certified later this year, and with TSYS coming in early 2026. And then lastly, here with SwipeSimple Appointments, this is going to be a powerful add-on that makes it easy for merchants to schedule appointments and get paid all in one place. And the best part, CardFlight or SwipeSimple, we do all the heavy lifting. So you don't need to worry about training, support, or billing. We will take care of all of that. It also gives you a competitive edge, helping you win more deals against solutions like Square without adding complexity on your end. And it helps you build a stickier portfolio. Merchants who use appointments tend to process more and stay longer, driving higher volume and stronger retention. Now let's get into the flexible hardware options that you will be able to get directly from DCCSupply. So first up, we have the SwipeSimple B350 card reader. With the card reader, you will be able to get that directly from DCCSupply. I know Adam will have more information on that as well. And then next up with SwipeSimple Terminal, as I mentioned, it's going to be available on the PAX A920 Pro, PAX A80, and then the PAX A920. Once again, your merchants are able to do surcharging on terminal. We do offer dual pricing across all of our solutions that we offer here at SwipeSimple as well. And then just going into why SwipeSimple Terminal over the competition. SwipeSimple Terminal is going to be more than just a terminal. It's going to be a full business solution you can offer your merchants. In addition to the key features I mentioned earlier, SwipeSimple Terminal supports dual pricing, surcharging, and we don't stop at in-person payments. You can take it further with our card not present tools like invoicing, schedule payments, and payment links right from your computer. And then lastly here with the SwipeSimple Register, the PAX Aries 8 will also be available through DCCSupply. You can pair that with the cash drawer as well as printer. I entered in all of the part numbers as well, and I'll share this deck over with you guys as well if you needed to reference back. So now, instead of going through the rest of the slides, I'll take you into a live demo of the mobile app. So once your merchants log into the mobile app, they'll see this transaction flow page. So a few things I always like to highlight under our settings is with under merchant account, your merchants are able to toggle between multi-mid, multi-merchant accounts. Also, we have offline mode available. So this is going to be really good for merchants that may not always have access to data or Wi-Fi on the go, but with offline mode, they'll still be able to take those transactions. And then next up, going into our invoices. As I mentioned earlier, our invoices are cloud-based and available on the mobile app as well as the web. As you can see here, you can enter in new customers' information or any customers you already have saved on file. Enter in items from your inventory. Always like to note that there's no limit to the amount of items you can add into our inventory as well. And then from here, you have the option to send that invoice via text or email or by both. And then going into the customer profile. As I mentioned here, your merchants will have their full CRM directly on their mobile app. They can add in new customers on the go, or if they needed to update any information, they can do so by clicking into a customer they already have saved and editing that information. Now let's go into the transaction flow. Merchants are able to do quick items. They can add in items from their item catalog, which can be added directly on the mobile device as well. They can add in preset discounts. And then from here under cart, they'll see a summary of their transaction. And from there, they can select checkout. And as you can see here, I do have dual pricing enabled. You see that cart versus cash price. And also, as I mentioned, they have the option to use saved card information on file. So if they wanted to use a card information on file, they'll select that. And from there, their customer profile list will populate, and then they'll select the correct customer, the correct card as well. Hopefully they don't have that many cards on file. And from there, they can select charge. And that is going to be our mobile app. Also, if you have any questions, we'll be taking those at the end, or also feel free to drop them in the chat so you don't forget as well. So now I'll take you through the SwipeSimple dashboard. So once your merchant logs into the SwipeSimple dashboard, they'll be able to, give me 1 second here. Awesome. Once they log into the SwipeSimple dashboard, if they're on the SwipeSimple payment software package, they'll see these 4 additional gateway features available, as well as the reporting dashboard. So starting off with the virtual terminal. With our virtual terminal, you're able to toggle between multi-mid, multi-locations as well. You can select saved customers that you already have on file. If you needed to record a cash payment, we do have that option as well. Once again, you can enter in items from your inventory, and dual pricing is available through all of our solutions that we do offer. As you can see here, the unit price has been adjusted upward. And then from here, you'll be able to select charge. And with our virtual terminal, your merchants can be eligible for level 2 and level 3 interchange. So if they wanted to be eligible, they will select yes, add data before continuing. And then from there, they'll be prompted to enter in that additional information. Next up, with scheduled payments, we have 3 different scheduled payment types that you can choose within SwipeSimple. So we have the one-time scheduled payments. We also have installments. So think about maybe a physician office that may need to break down a large procedure for a patient. They can do that with our installments. You're able to choose the frequency as well as start dates. And then lastly, with subscriptions or those recurring payments, this is also available. You can choose the frequency here as well. Once you're ready to create that scheduled payment, you'll just hit on schedule. Next up, with invoices, this is going to be similar to the mobile app where your merchants will be able to see all of their previously created invoices. To add a new invoice is going to be the same as well. You'll enter in all of the customer's information. With our invoices as well, you are able to prompt for tip. You can change the due date as well as add in a note and items from your inventory. And then once again, you have the option to send those invoices via text or email. Then lastly here with our payment links, within SwipeSimple, we have two different types of payment links you can set up. We have open amount payment links. So think of nonprofit organizations that may want to accept donations. They can do this by having an open amount payment link. With our payment links, you can also prompt for tip as well. And then also we have where you can add in multiple items to a payment link. So think of maybe a online boutique that may not need a full e-commerce solution, but still want to offer their items on their websites or social media platform. They can embed these payment links and buy now buttons and enter those in on their websites. You can also customize the forms here. You can add and you can request additional data fields, especially for, say, those retail merchants that may need to have items shipped out. And I'll show you what this form looks like as well. So as you can see here, you'll be able to update the quantity and enter in those additional fields. And so that is going to be our payment gateway. And now I'm diving into the reporting dashboard. Under transactions, this is where your merchants will be able to see all of their transactions in real time. They can filter between merchant account, the different users that it was taken by, as well as any of the fields that you see here. Then next up, this is going to be your customer profile CRM directly on SwipeSimple Web. So this is what is located on the mobile app as well. One thing I always like to highlight here on the web, you can actually go into a customer profile and set up scheduled payments as well as send out invoices directly from that customer's profile. The next up with our item catalog. At SwipeSimple, we are really big on inventory management. So as you can see here, you can put inventory items in categories. You can track your inventory, keep count of those inventory items, add in any images. You can add in items one-off, or if you want to import them in bulk, we do have that option in a CSV file to follow. Once again, regardless of what device your merchants are using, they can also add in inventory items directly on there as well. And then next up with users, within SwipeSimple, we have two different user roles. Admin users are able to see in multiple accounts as well as process refunds. And then with member user role, it gives them less functionality and the employer more control of what their employees can do with this member user role. Then next up with reports, we have several different reports that give your merchants actionable insights into their business. So first up with the sales report, this is going to be that daily sales report. You can filter by date range and by accounts. User report is going to be really good for your merchants if they need to keep track of sales. Also can use this report for tip payout. Then next up, our item report, just going back into inventory management. You can filter the date range and by account. You can see the total number of items sold, the current count, and this is just going to give your merchants access into their inventory where they may need to restock, may need to revamp their inventory by viewing this report. Next up, you just have your tax report, top customers report here as well. And then lastly, the expiring cards report. This is going to be very good for your merchants that have customers that are set up on those recurring payments. They can use this report to see if any card information is about to expire, and if so, they can reach out to that customer, update that card information to ensure they never miss a payment. And so that is going to be the reporting dashboard. Just wanted to highlight some of our account settings. Under receipts, payment links, as well as invoices, from here, as you can see, you can do a lot of customization. They can change the color of their receipts and invoices, add in a company logo. As I mentioned earlier, we came out with automated reminders. So this is where they would enable and set those reminders up. Under alerts, they can receive an alert anytime a payment is made through a payment link. And then back into inventory management, they can receive an alert anytime an item reaches 0 or a certain threshold, and this number can be adjusted. And then lastly, tax rates. This is where they'll enter in their tax information. And then under transactions here, this is where they'll enable level 2 and level 3. And then also they can add in default tip levels as well as any of the fields that you see here. And so that's going to be SwipeSimple Web. So now I'll briefly go into the SwipeSimple terminal on the PAX A920. And as you can see, if you guys are already familiar with SwipeSimple or not, the user interface is going to be similar to the mobile app. So from here, I always like to drop down and go into the menu section. As I mentioned, you are able to add in items directly from the terminal devices or any of the other devices. You can create items, discounts, as well as categories. And then under current batch, I don't have a current batch, but that's where if your merchants are enabled to accept post-off tip adjustments, that's where they'll enable that as well. So now let's go into the transaction flow. So once again, you can do quick items, add in items from your item catalog, also add in discounts. And then from here, you'll see the summary of your transaction. And then from here, you are able to select credit, cash, or do a true debit card. Once again, dual pricing is available through all of our solutions that we do offer. But I'm going to select credit. And as you can see, I have surcharging on the terminal. As you will see that this will be a service charge. You can, or it would say surcharge on there as well, and you'll see that fee. And then you'll select continue and be prompted to tap, dip, or swipe that payment. And then lastly here, I'll go into the register software package on the tablet. With the register software package, once again, your merchants will get access to item modifiers, taxes. If they're using the PAX Aries 8 or the tablet here, you are able to pair that with the cash drawer as well as printer. So just wanted to build out an transaction for you. So as you can see, here are the modifier lists for the hamburger. So with our modifiers, there's no limit to the amount of modifiers you can have on a single item. And then you also can have multiple groups of modifiers on a single item. So as you can see here, I had toppings as well as hamburger sides. If you needed to add in pricing, you can do that as well. And then next up, I'll add in a Welsh drink. So let's do a Sprite and then add in a vodka so you can see item level taxes. So starting up with the Welsh drink, as you can see here, you have the alcohol tax as well as New York State tax. And then with our modifiers, if you are planning to print these receipts, all these additions will be listed on the receipt as well. And it's easy to go back in and update any of the modifiers that you see here as well. And then from there, you'll select checkout. And then I do have dual pricing enabled. Let me clear that up for you. Do have dual pricing enabled where you see that card versus cash price. And so now I will pass it back over to Adam so we can jump into Q&A.
All right, I'm here. Awesome. All right, any questions? That was pretty thorough. Thank you. That's a hard no. Okay. All right. All right, cool. There's a question from Leslie. What you got, Leslie? Can merchants use the SwipeSimple dashboard to track both card present and card not present transactions in one place?
Yes, absolutely. Under transactions, let me go back there. Give me 1 second. So under transactions here, you'll be able to see all of the transaction types. For mine's here is just more so I do transactions on like installments and subscriptions, but regardless of how you take that transaction, it will be listed here. You can also filter by tapped, dipped, swipe, keyed, and all of these fields that you do see here.
Gotcha. All right. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you for all that. I was just gonna, after this, I was just going to just talk about how this fits into the process for merchant processing, and just do a quick overview on that. And so if you give me the screen, that would be great.
Awesome. It should have stopped sharing. Let me know if it's still sharing.
Yeah, you're good. All right, so you guys see my submarine here?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So just talking about this, I've talked about this in the past, but basically this is your sales process, the submarine here. You're talking about you're building your bonding and rapport, and this is what we're talking about. So the idea of the sales submarine is that when a submarine is filling with water, and it's not really a good analogy, but the idea is that when it's filling with water, you run through the submarine and you have to close each latch as you get through one, so the water doesn't get through. And so the same concept fits here as well. The idea is that you really shouldn't be going to the next gate without knowing what each gate is. So the idea is the first thing is you shouldn't jump to pain if you haven't done your bonding and rapport. If the customer doesn't trust you, doesn't understand you, then you're never going to get to budget and decision making later on. So the first thing to do is bonding rapport. Clearly, do they like you? Are you guys getting along? If there's animosity at the start, then there's no reason to even move forward. Then you've got your upfront contract. Upfront contract is awesome. It's great because that way both parties know what to expect. Hey, do you have 10 minutes of your time? Hey, how much time do you have? All these upfront questions. Hey, and if I'm able to save you money at the beginning, at the end, what's the chance of you actually being able to make this decision? One of my pet peeves is when I get sales calls, and I get them all day long, and they're like, I don't have anything to sell you. And I'm like, are you saying you're calling me just because you love me? I'm like, you really are selling something. He's like, no, I have nothing to sell you. I'm like, well, do you want to get me for a call for later so that somebody else can sell me? Yes. Okay. Well, you're selling me on an appointment. That's your job. So I hate when they say I have nothing to sell you. I literally will I won't hang up with them because I think it's more fun to just have them keep talking and mess with them. But I get they're never going to get me if they keep go down that road. Then we go to the pain, and pain is the whole point of sales to find out what the pain is. If the pain is cost, is it operations, is it ROI? Who knows? Do they have the budget for the issue that we're dealing with? And then once we get to that point, we have to stop and say, is the person I'm talking to the decision maker? And this is, for me, the most important thing here. And you really should know in the upfront contract, this decision question should come up first. Hey, are you the right person? Could you make the decision when we were done with this call? No, I need my blah, blah, blah partner or whatever. Oh, great. How do we get them on hand? Oh, I'll make the decision. I'll make the decision and then tell them, oh, you can make the decision? No, I need them to be here with me. So how about we reschedule, or I'll give you some brief information. So information isn't free. And I think that's really one of the keys here is information is not free. Everything that Ashley just gave us was an amazing amount of information, but it wasn't free, right? It wasn't free. We got it. That's great. But at the end of the day, we want to charge for it at some point, right? And showing up is part of it, and it's great information. But we need we need to not give free information if we don't have to, right? And one of the rules of sales, right, is we're not here to give them to be a free consultant. Yeah, we want the business, but at the end of the day, we want a mutual beneficial solution. They switch to us, and we get the processing, that type of thing. So we get the right decision maker in there, and they sign off, and then we fulfill properly, and then you do your post-sell, and you get your referrals. And throughout this whole time, our number one goal, and Sarah, you here? You listening? I'm gonna put her on the spot. Anyway, what's our number one goal? We want to get to the what? Oh, she's got me blocked. We want to get to the no. That's the question. We want to get to the no. We love yeses. Hey, I'd love a yes. Great. But if they're going to string me along, I'm not interested in being strung along. I want to get to the no. So if I can get to a no, awesome. I'd rather get to a yes, but if I can get to a no, great. And so that's our whole goal here. So moving up here, I wanted to talk about the 4 squares for merchant processing. And we usually see this 4 square basically based on, this is our current customer and versus a new product type thing. But this, from a merchant processing perspective, is really about SwipeSimple and getting up here in the red and yellow. So if we talk about the this axis here being cost driven to operations driven, and then on the left side you've got simple to complex. So we've got here in the green, we're talking about this is your basic effective rate, hidden fees, downtime, contracts, early termination, everything that we handle that most merchants are asking that the issues are that you're going to switch for. And this might be someone from 500 a month to 80,000. Who knows, right? So it depends on the customer and what their business is. But many accounts are in here. And to get out of this green section, we have to say to ourselves, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And right, everybody is doing this. Everybody's doing green. And so if it's more complicated and it takes 15 touches to get the signature, to get to the solution, right, to get to the shipping out of invoices or tapping on the screen. I mean, tapping on the screen is a great way here to get in the door. But at the end of the day, it comes up to the red, which is your business goals. Key frustrations with the current provider. They don't have it, or I keep losing my devices, or the printer stops working, or we never have the device. I've got 15 guys out there, and none of them have the devices, and I can't afford to have all these devices. Tap on glass on your own iPhone is amazing. I mean, that's just like there should be fireworks right now. The fact that we have this. Not good for the hardware business, I'll say, but hey, whatever. I know that's coming at some point too. So we're all tweaking our business models, right? So, and so as we go to a more complex and we move up here, we've got key frustrations. What would a better experience look like and feel like? How could cost savings help my business? And priority of being speed, price, service, or tech. And that's your more complex customer. And then as we get larger, and typically the larger customers push us here to the monthly volume, operations driven, you've got higher volume in the blue section here, online or stored, seasonality, industry type. This is where you're really going to focus your solution based on that volume, because you're not going to have a small account, turning them on and off seasonality. It's just not going to happen. Hey, I only do art fairs 2 months a year. Can I turn it on for 2 months and turn it off later? Many people will say, oh yeah, I'd love to have the business. It's not worth the time or effort. I'd rather get that no right away. Now, might be other reasons why. Hey, this person goes to every show, and they have a lot of other people that they know of, and they're not all doing 500 a month. Great. So that's where you have to make that decision. That's a business case. And then finally, the harder ones. This is when I say, if everybody was doing it, then it would be easy. but it's not. I messed that up. But anyway, POS terminal systems, hardware, software integrations we're talking about, online, mobile, the contactless, and then multi-location and inventory syncing, which is what we're talking about here. It's more complicated. It's a harder sell. It takes longer, and if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. That's simple. And so all of our jobs is to dig deep without being difficult here in the upfront contract section to say, hey, what is your pain? How can I help you get through this? That's my 2 cents for my sales Foursquare here. So I hope it helps.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions or anything like that? Oh, all right. All right, awesome. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. Thanks for attending.
Thank
And
you.
Ashley, thank you for presenting.
Absolutely.
And Adam, that was very helpful. Thank you very much. All of this will be on our YouTube channel for further consumption if you want to see it all again.
All right,
Thanks,
talk to you.
thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you.